Surrounded by hostile neighbours, India has fought numerous wars to protect its borders. To deter any future conflict, India has built one of the world's most trained and powerful armies. India is the world's largest and oldest democracy with the fourth most powerful army in the world. But how strong is the Indian military? Global Firepower, an analytical website that tracks global military powers, released the 2023 Military Strength Ranking, rating 145 countries based on an index of 60 individual factors measuring currently available firepower. India has been declared the fourth strongest army in the world with 1.5 million active personnel. And with a budget of $55 billion, it is the third largest power in the world in terms of defense expenditure. The United States topped the list, followed closely by Russia and China. India retained its fourth rank, followed by the United Kingdom, South Korea, Pakistan, Japan, France and Italy. Indian Armed Forces include Army, Navy and Air Force. Additionally, the Indian Armed Forces are supported by the Central Armed Police Forces, Indian Coast Guard and Special Frontier Force, among others. The President of India is the Supreme Commander of the Indian Armed Forces, but the executive authority and responsibility for national security is vested in the Prime Minister of India and their chosen cabinet ministers. Only 4 countries in the world have anti-satellite capabilities. On 27 March 2019, Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi surprised the world with his announcement that India had become the 4th country to conduct an anti-satellite missile test, after the United States, Russia and China. This means if another country is trying to extract information from India using a satellite and giving it to another country, India can destroy the satellite from here itself.
अमेरिका, रूस और चीन को यह उपलब्धि हासिल थी। अब भारत चौथा देश है जिसने आज यह सिद्धि प्राप्त की है। हर हिंदुस्तानी के लिए इससे बड़े गर्व का पल नहीं हो सकता।
India has indigenously developed a ballistic missile defense system to protect borders in case any other country attacks India using missiles. New generation ballistic missile Agni Prime was successfully flight tested by Defense Research and Development Organization, also known as the DRDO, from Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam Island off the coast of Odisha on June 7, 2023. It was in the early 1980s that the development of the Agni missile series began under the Integrated Guided Missile Development Program led by former President Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. He played a key role in India's missile and space programs. The world's fastest supersonic cruise missile BrahMos was jointly developed by India and Russia. This missile is supposed to be so advanced that the Philippines military has placed an order with the Indian Army for this missile to protect itself from China. India has also started talks with Vietnam and Indonesia for the same. This means India not only imports world-class technology but also exports it. To build such a big defense system, we as taxpayers pay a lump sum amount towards the defense budget, which has been constantly increased to cover defense expenditure. How much, you ask? Rupees 90,000 crore. That is our defense budget, which is almost 14% of our total budget. Meanwhile, the Indian Army, Navy and Air Force are combining their strengths to prepare India's game plan for future wars. India is advancing its efforts to establish theatre commands, aiming to build an integrated war-fighting machinery in a cost-effective manner. After months of addressing concerns, a consensus has been reached among the Indian Army, Navy and Air Force regarding the plan. 3 integrated theatre commands will be established, each led by a senior 3-star general. These commands will be responsible for managing the borders with China, Pakistan and a maritime command in Peninsular India. The original proposal for an Air Defence Command has been discarded as the Indian Air Force argued against a standalone ADC. The Indian Air Force deemed an ADC counterproductive since air defense and offensive air missions are interdependent and cannot be carried out in isolation during conflicts. Additionally, dividing the limited air assets among different theatre commands would be operationally unwise. The IAF currently possesses just 31 fighter squadrons despite being authorized 42. A group of 102 officers in the rank of majors and lieutenant colonels have recently been cross-posted to other services. These groups comprise 40 officers from the Indian Army, 32 from the Indian Air Force, and 30 from the Indian Navy. This cross-staffing initiative is aimed at areas of commonality such as equipment like UAVs and the BrahMos supersonic cruise missiles. India currently has two unified commands, the Andaman and Nicobar Command and the Strategic Forces Command.